Hello, everyone. Today is a very special day since we have Canada's top prospect, former or future world champion,
Former world
Auden,
champion.
former world champion. We'll go with
Yeah,
that.
already done
Auden
it.
Larratt, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people. Thanks for having me on, Henry. It's gonna be a
Of
good
course.
time.
Now, my second ever video was an Auden interview, and it got
It
7,000
was.
views. My
Very
goal,
good.
I can't get less views than the first Auden interview, right? I can't
I was gonna
believe
say.
that my second video I've fallen lower, so I have to at least get 7,000 views. That's the hope. But last time, good title, good thumbnail. I'm not sure if I could beat that, but I
Great
will
title,
try.
great thumbnail. Clickbait to the max.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say clickbait. I would say bringing them to content they would like to see, but we could argue. But
Perfect.
anyway,
That's
all
much
right.
better.
First question. What was your match with Artem Taranenko like, and what do you think you were most missing?
Yeah, you talking on the right?
Yeah, because you guys
Okay.
did
Yeah.
mess around the left too recently, but yeah.
Yeah, we just had a tournament together.
Hmm.
But on the right, so I would say the biggest thing that was my failure point in the right is he blew through my bicep. My hand was in the match. It wasn't overly dominant where I just totally dumped him, but it was enough where I was like, okay, I can fight and win from here. But the thing that was really lacking is my elbow flexion, so he just opened me. Like it was,
Hmm.
I had some spot and he was able to open my bicep. That I've been working on. I'm trying to get better at it. It takes time, obviously, but I'm feeling like it's coming along at a pretty good pace. I'm happy. I'm happy with the results.
So let's say you and Artem have a rematch in 3 months from now. Who's your money on?
Well, it's always gonna be on me, of course. But I mean, hard to say. I just pulled with him a bunch this last weekend, but obviously he's not prepped. He's lighter. He's coming in. But I'll run it back. I'll run it back soon. I don't know when. I don't know when. But once I'm like, yep, okay, I'm ready now. I'll start talking some smack. But for now, I gotta stay humble. He beat me last time. I hate to be the guy who gets beat and then goes on. But oh, I'll get him. I'll get him. I will get him, but in due time. Right now, he's the
Okay.
champ.
Okay. Well, he's not the champ, but he's better than you.
Better than me.
Now,
Better than me.
question, does he make you believe in side pressure now? Because
No,
I remember you said side pressure doesn't exist,
side
and
pressure
then
doesn't
you
exist.
got blasted sideways like really hard. You're still on
No,
side pressure doesn't exist?
side pressure doesn't exist. So he blasted through my bicep. That's what opened. If I had more bicep, it'd be fine. Listen, side pressure does exist. It does exist. I don't like to use it. I think it's a technical inefficiency. And yeah, well, don't get me wrong, it works. But so does just being super fucking strong and doing this if you're strong enough.
Yeah.
So I think, while if you're super strong there, you can make it work. But I just don't prioritize that in my training. I do a lot of table time, so my side pressure gets developed, but
Hmm.
so much of that is just connective, like stiffness of the joint. And that's just time. That's just time and attention that I will get to eventually.
So you believe that while side pressure doesn't exist, it is not the most important thing to train,
Yes.
that training everything else is a more efficient way to improve at arm wrestling. But
Yeah.
if someone is
Yeah.
just much stronger than you, yeah, they could win sideways.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like,
I
but
just think in arm wrestling, the important things are control of the hand, control of where your opponent's shoulder is and your own shoulder. So that is done through elbow flexion, wrist flexion, pronation, rise. And while side pressure is always there as a stabilization factor, I'm happy to be here and spin it a little bit, put it all on my biceps with zero side pressure, and go back this way. And
because
to me,
if you
that is,
win all of this, the side
yeah,
pressure is easy.
and side pressure is easy. It's like the last little bit. The side pressure is not the part that you don't have. You can't finish the match because you either are lacking some hand or some bicep. Like, sure, if I had a stupid amount of side pressure, I could do that, but I just don't think it's the thing to focus on. And I get people disagree. This is just my take on it. But to me, I think control the hand first. Make sure your arm is strong enough to win from that controlled hand position, and maybe have some supination into a press. But the
Hmm.
side pressure is after that. It's after all those things.
Okay. So side pressure is real, but it's not worth training.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Not for me. Not for me in particular. I
I
just don't
mean,
think so. I could
now
be wrong.
don't you think just training it on top anyways, like does it hurt anything else? Because this is
Yeah.
this is why I always feel like whenever I hear Devin go like, oh, I'm not gonna bench. I always feel like, are you worried about gaining 3 pounds of weight in your pecs? Like, would that really just break the whole system down? That's always how I felt, where I'm just like, I get like maybe you don't need triceps. Let's just say we're on team triceps are useless, and I'm kind of with that. But like, would adding some muscle in your tricep just like break the whole system, or would it just be nice to have?
So you're mistaking why it's not getting trained. It's not because getting bigger or stronger in the area is bad. It's that the act of training it will take away from the other strengths. So
See,
if I
okay,
was
that
benching
right
all the time,
there, like I'm not sure I subscribe to the idea it takes away. Like,
well, you
let's say,
should. You should. And let me explain. Let me explain why. Let me
okay,
explain why. Specificity. It's very important. The more specific your training is, the more you can train. Let me tell you, I have done really hard bench days and then tried to do practice, and it affects you. It takes away your ability to arm wrestle in certain ways. So,
hmm
say I am training arm wrestling practice every single day, doing 3 hours a day. Let's call it that. If
uh-huh,
I was to add benching as well, I would have to cut those 3 hours down. I couldn't maintain it.
and it would
So,
just
where's
not
the
be as
trade-off?
efficient.
So
Now,
I'm now doing less. I'm now doing less arm wrestling specific training. While yeah, my chest might be getting stronger, but I'm no longer training at the same intensity and same volume as I would have been otherwise. So where's the trade-off?
so
Where is
okay,
it?
the point I would make is if you bench and it affects your arm wrestling is maybe because benching would be somewhat helpful for arm wrestling. Do you think
No,
that
but it's
there's
not about that.
any
It's
case to be made for that?
I think so. The bench itself is very like taxing on your neural drive. When I'm arm wrestling, I'm never like, oh, it's my chest that's opening. I never feel that.
Yeah.
Maybe some people do, but I am not one of those people. When I lose, it's through my bicep, it's through my hand. I'm never like, man, if only I had some more chest, I could beat this guy.
hmm
So to me, when I'm really beat up my chest, that's more like a mental. I'll be more tired. I like bench is a hard exercise. If you go really hard in bench,
Yes.
it tires the fuck out of you. So to me, I just and don't get me wrong, I bench.
Yeah,
So I do
that was my
actually do
next
it.
question.
But it's just for somebody like my dad who is 100% specific, has already done these things in the past, does not need to build up a base. Like for me, I'm still base building. I still want to have these strengths. So it's just not necessary once you already have the base. It's not like if his bench got 100 kilos stronger, he'd start winning matches. He just doesn't arm wrestle that way. He's not doing a chest fly while arm wrestling. He never
hmm
does that. So while being stronger everywhere is good, that's not possible. Like you need to make sacrifices.
I
You need
mean,
to be
also at
specific.
50 with a bunch of injuries. I mean, there's
Yeah,
a difference
well,
between
it's
that
it's for
and
anyone. It's for anyone. If you look at the greatest champions, why they're so great is because they're good at one thing. They're so awesome at this one aspect of life, whether it's basketball, football, arm wrestling. Put them in everything else, like you put an athlete in any different field, he might do well, might do above average, but he's not going to be like the best at it, and that's
hmm
because specificity training. But I mean, if you could do everything, people would do it, but you can't. You only have so much time. You only have so much energy.
I'm a little bit skeptical, but we'll move on. And I already know that the comments filled with idiots, people almost as stupid as me, almost will all say that I am 100% correct and that you guys have no clue what's going on.
In
But
what exactly is your stance?
my stance is it is not like, okay, if you told me I could do 3 hours of benching today or 3 hours of arm wrestling, I would do three
Yeah.
hours of arm wrestling. But if you
Okay.
told me you have all day, just get better at arm wrestling today, I would
Yeah.
train my biceps and I would do some bench and I would also do these other things as well as the arm wrestling training. If you genuinely are like, dude, I have, 2 hours a day to train. Yeah, use those 2 hours
It's not
on this and this and this and this and arm wrestling on the table. That's what I would use that time for. But
it's
if you
less about
told
the
me like
time.
literally, Henry, just live your life and get as good at arm wrestling as possible, I'd be doing some bench and training some biceps.
Well, okay, the biceps argument is stupid because every lift we do is bicep based. People don't seem to understand that. Like every single pronation lift, what part of the body do you think fails? It's
Yeah.
your bicep. Your bicep
Well, it
opens.
can be
That's the
your
thing that
pronation, but
opens.
for most people,
No,
if they're
yeah,
doing this lift, the failure point is
it's
arm.
the bicep. It's the
Yeah.
bicep. So people like train your biceps. Everything we do is bicep. But so for the bench thing, it's not about the time. The time is not the issue. You got plenty of time in the day. It's the resource allocation. If you go stupid hard and bench, yeah, you can do your sets of arm wrestling. But if you were to just do the sets of arm wrestling, you could go heavier, you could go harder, you could just train at a higher intensity and volume. And to me, that is more important. Now, this is an option, and this is what I do. I train bench after my arm wrestling stuff. So I do all of my arm wrestling stuff for the day, and then I do bench, which means my bench is going to suffer. But see, that's less what I care about. I care more or arm wrestling stuff.
Hmm.
So for me, that's how I do it. And I do not believe that it really matters. I do not believe having some diesel chest matters. I've pulled guys that bench just fucking stupid numbers, and I'm unimpressed because their
Hmm.
hand falls apart. If I can take somebody's
Okay,
hand,
the
I'm not
guy,
scared of the guy.
like the guy that leaves the gym and he's his first day at arm wrestling practice, he benches 315, but his wrist curl is awful. Well, yeah, that guy's gonna suck. But like, let's say we created two. Okay, how about this? This is a great question. Okay, we create two identical arm wrestlers. All right,
Mhm.
one of them does all your arm wrestling specific exercises. The other one does all of that and has double the bench press of the other guy.
Okay, but you understand
If I
that's
ask
impossible.
you, you'll say it'll stop right in the middle and they won't budge. But
No,
what
no,
I'm
no. I
saying
will
is
not. The
like
bench guy
it'll
will win.
be
The bench guy will win. But
okay.
you have to understand. You have to understand. The bench guy's not going to be equal in arm wrestling strength because he will have sacrificed time to go and bench.
But
Listen, I
the,
have
the
lots of
point I
friends
make
who bench stupid
is your
numbers.
career is this long. If you had to get good in the next month, sure, but your career is this long. So because of that, like, why not spend this much of it having a good, like rounded strength, and then as time goes on, once you're your dad, where you're 50 and you're broken down and you're looking for very very specific, like you're at your last, like squeezing the percentages you can get out of your body, then okay, you can get really, really, really specific. But right
So
now,
you
while
said
you
something
have so
interesting
much
there.
career to go,
So what you if I had 1 month, if I had a match in 1 month, would you be let's say if you had a match in 1 month,
I
would you
would
be
not
doing
bench.
everything you could arm wrestling or with no bench? No bench at
No,
that point.
I would not bench. If I had
Okay.
3 years to before I had have to
But
do a
what's the
match with someone,
difference?
I'd be doing some match.
But
The
why? But
difference
why?
the difference is you're talking about this short term exhaustion, like, oh, I'm
No,
too
I'm not.
exhausted, so I can't train.
I
Yes, you
train
are.
every
That's
day.
what you just
I
said.
train every day. Or
Okay,
too exhausted every day.
so my point is you should use some of your exhaustion points to, because I think there's a diminishing return on arm wrestling. Training 1 hour of arm wrestling versus 3 hours isn't 3 times better than 1 hour of arm wrestling.
Now
So
that's debatable.
okay, I'm curious what you think about this, because I think there's a diminished, like for me, I've noticed when I go to practice, 3 to 4 hours is perfect. I have gone to these practices where I die and they're 8 hours long and there's 100 guys and there's 10
Mhm.
tables and I just go, 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 go. And then I can't wipe my ass for a week. Like
Yeah,
literally,
but that's stimulus. That is power right there.
I
But let me
think you
tell you,
can get too broken down on just arm wrestling. Like
even sure you can. You can.
that day, I wish I arm wrestled for 3 hours or 4 hours, and then after that, I wish I did some bench afterwards. I
Listen,
Because I feel like I went too hard into the arm wrestling that day.
you probably did, but you gotta understand as well, there's differences in people. Somebody like me, I can do that and be totally fine the next day because I've worked up to it. Now, I couldn't do this at the start, but because
Hmm.
now I arm wrestle every day, I train every day, I do singles before going to practice, and I'm still totally fine the next day. Somebody like me, I can train all day long, arm wrestling hard, and be fine the next day. So why wouldn't I?
Well, okay. I also think you arm wrestling hard is different than me. Like when I go to practice,
That's my point.
I can lose for 4 hours straight. It's
So
hard
can
for
I.
you to lose for 4 hours straight.
You'd be wrong about that. Depends where I go and depends what I do
Well,
and
like
who I
I'm
start
talking,
with.
like if you go to your local club, how many guys there
Yeah.
can beat you fresh on fresh?
Two, two of them, Porky and
Exactly.
Dad. And
So
so I pull them right away, and I gas the piss out of myself, and then immediately pull a guy who's like just a little bit weaker than me. I'll have to slowly out endure him, and then I go a little bit weaker, slowly out endure.
that's
Let
what
me
I'm
tell
saying. You're
you.
slowly out, and you're not going.
Oh yes, I
Like
am.
if you
I'm
did
getting
that,
blown through, blown through, blown through. Okay, I gotta stop. Rah! And there we
so
go.
you mean to tell me you get blown through for 4 hours and the next day fresh as a daisy in spring?
100% fine.
Really? Okay. I mean that
I did
honestly
last night.
sounds like
Last night.
that's like
Last
a
night.
wet
I
dream
I,
for
I
me.
5 hour practice. I was at my mom's surprise birthday party. I pulled like fucking mad. We did king of the table. I pulled Grippler. I pulled Porky. Just getting blown to shit. I'm 100% fine that they could hit a PR.
I'm skeptical, but we'll move on. I
Well,
mean, I don't see why you'd lie.
trust
To be
me.
fair, I don't see why
I mean, don't get
you
me
have
wrong.
no
If I,
incentive to
if I
come
were
up with
if I were to
this.
peak, I'd be stronger. If I'm going to peak, I'm going to be stronger. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like I'm good to train today. I'm going to train today.
Hmm.
I already have trained a bit today.
Okay. I mean, it's interesting, but I still believe, like, I mean, at the end of you being beat to shit, Don't
Yeah.
you think benching a little bit wouldn't kill you?
Listen, I'm sure it's fine. And I hate to argue it because I do bench. This is what I do.
Uh-huh.
I do agree with you. I add it in.
So,
I
so,
just do
so why
not
do you
think it's
bench at
even
all? You're wasting your
aesthetic,
energy.
aesthetic purposes. Just
Okay,
aesthetic.
you just want to look good.
Yeah, well, it's a solely aesthetic reason. I think looking good and feeling good is nice. I
So you
enjoy
are
doing
willing to
bench.
sacrifice your arm wrestling level to be more attractive. Is this true?
When you put it that way,
Yes.
no, I'm done
No, no,
benching.
no.
Actually,
Yes.
good point.
Yeah, okay, because you are literally,
No,
according to
it's a balance, man.
your way of beliefs, you are hurting your arm wrestling for the sake of looks purely. That's
Yes, fully,
crazy. All right.
100%. I agree.
So we could say if you were uglier, you would have beaten Artem Taranenko.
Yes, it's true. I wasn't
Yes.
mentioned back then. I wasn't mentioned.
Oh, okay. Well, now you're even worse then, because you
Now
keep
I'm even
wasting your time.
worse. That's my point. I know
Uh-huh.
I'm totally wasting your time.
All right. So next question, a little bit spicier. You are
Ooh,
now getting to a level where I think you're going to be routinely competing against people who use steroids. How long do you think you will
okay.
remain natural?
That's an interesting question. So understand as well, and I don't like to out people, but plenty of the people I've already pulled use steroids. Most of the people I've pulled
Well, yeah,
have used steroids.
that's the kind of what
So
I'm saying.
yeah, it's just it's a reality of the sport. Listen, I'm gonna try to do it naturally. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna stay natural as long as I can. I just got my blood work back. I got great levels. I'm healthy. I'm feeling good. I had a shit sleep the night before, and I still had 824 test, which is quite nice. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm gonna stay natural as long as I can, man. As long as I can. My
See,
dad did
okay,
it.
so
My
you
dad did it
just said
clean.
as long as I can. What would
As long
be
as I can.
the differential? Because you can technically stay natural your whole life. Most people do
So
it.
yeah,
What would
yeah,
be the
yeah.
point that makes you go, all right, I'm sticking a needle in my ass?
Yeah. So what that point would be, it would be damage beyond repair. So it would be I can no longer heal. I can no longer heal myself. There's nothing I can do. No blood flow, no rehab that's going to help me. And that will come later. And listen, that won't be before I have kids. That won't be before any of this. I am very family oriented, and I do not. I think people underestimate how awesome the body is naturally. I think you can get a lot done just through knowing yourself, through understanding your physiological levels all the time. You can optimize your training to a point which no enhanced person can do because you fully understand your body and how it's working naturally on its own without supplementation. Now listen, I'm not knocking performance enhancing drugs. They work and there's a reason people take them. But I'm going to try. I think it's a bigger victory if I can beat people that are enhanced being natural.
So you will remain natural until you believe you literally cannot progress without steroids.
Exactly.
And right now, you are clearly so far from that. You could definitely
So
get a
far from that.
lot better without
So
steroids.
so very far from that. I got so much
I
time.
mean, you need at least 10 more years before you say, okay, I
Oh,
really
10
can't
is
get
10
better.
is probably short. 10 is probably short.
Hmm. So you're going to be an old man before you take steroids, basically.
That is my plan as of right now. Things can always change, but as of right now, I do not want to take anything that is going to negatively affect my ability to have kids. That's the big thing.
Hmm.
And listen, if there's something that's like all of a sudden there's a new miracle drug that has zero side effects and makes you stronger, yeah, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, I
But
think
like,
I'll be right there with
yeah,
you. I think we would all,
it's
if
not
we
it's
would
not a
all
moral
take
thing. It's not a
steroids
moral
if
thing.
there was no side effects. I mean, that's just the truth.
Yeah,
Who doesn't want to be bigger, stronger, leaner while
that's the
eating
thing.
fucking whatever they want? All right.
But yeah,
So,
I'll try. I'll try to do it naturally. I'll do my
okay.
best.
Now, this question is probably one of my favorite questions I've ever asked someone ever. And
Really? Ever?
it is going to a little bit push you to a place you've maybe never even been pushed to before, okay?
Really? Okay.
Gun to your head. Do you
Mm,
think your dad will beat Levan?
yes. Levan 3 will be the last one.
See, I've maintained I think he'll beat him the fourth time. I
Fourth
don't think he's
time,
going to
not
beat him
third.
this next time.
Really? Why is that?
Yeah.
Not enough
Levon,
bench? Not enough squats?
Levon's big and really, I mean, I'll bet you, I would bet if someone gave me even odds, I would bet 10 grand that Levon will win this third match. If
Really?
someone gave me even odds, yeah.
Well,
I'm,
when we
I
get
mean,
closer, maybe we can talk. Maybe we can talk.
yeah, I mean, so far your predictions are 0-2 on Dad versus Levon. I feel pretty good on round
Okay,
three, to be
sure,
fair.
sure. I went the last King of the Table event. I went 2-11. I was terrible,
Yeah,
like
and I
so bad
remember
at
too,
predicting.
after I think there was one event, I forget what it was, but Oh yeah, it was Alex and Daddy Ken. You were like, man, I knew that one.
That was the one. That was the
Yeah,
one.
yeah. And but then
Love that
after
guy.
then I saw in some other interview you were like, I got two right that day. So I was like, you didn't know shit. You just knew the one I didn't know.
Yeah,
Or actually, I guess
exactly.
that was
Yeah,
East versus West. I don't know.
that
But
was
yeah,
different. But yeah,
I had a pretty my worst event ever was Georgia. I think I went even then I went like 6-11, but that was like horrible for me. Like I'd gotten a
yeah.
combined three matches wrong in the previous three events. So getting five wrong in one night was pretty bad. And then that King of the Table 14, I did pretty shit too. Fucking Rustum getting hurt and
Oh man, I
Camille
was so
shoulder
upset with
coming over
that.
the center about 42 times. Like I'm a little bit butthurt, but it's okay. And I felt Mike would win too. And I just like on round one, I was like, I did it. I fucking knew it. And
I
then it
thought you
just
had him too.
slowly
Yeah.
crumbled in front of my eyes. It was pretty
Mhm.
depressing. But yeah, this latest one I did pretty good, so I'll take it. But yeah, gun to your head, you believe that your dad will beat Levan.
I think so. I think it's his destiny. I think it's gonna happen.
How much will he
I
weigh on the
think
day?
it'd be big. That's the thing. He hasn't pulled. Something has changed. Something has changed. He after Levon, he was all burnt out. He was totally burnt out. Is it was all messed up, and he took a while just chilling at his grandma's or at his mom's doing yard work, and totally got down lean. Got to like 231 and had a full reset. Changed our training habits, changed our eating habits, changed everything. And I mean, so far we've seen it. Murdered Petrenko, murdered Gennady. Like, like what? Almost like either match, world level matches, not even close.
Hmm.
And even winning against Krejci, and even though it's a controversial match and it was a total mess, still he beat Krejci. And
At a
Krejci's
minimum,
ranked
he let's
fourth.
just say he was competitive with Kardashian, which he wasn't
Exactly.
the
Yeah,
last
and
3 years. And he also
it
destroyed
was it
Corey.
was
We
turning
forgot
too. It
about
was
that
about to
one.
turn. What's that?
He also destroyed Corey.
That's the thing. And this is on his left, which he's trained less than a year.
Hmm.
Less than a year now.
And I think he's about to
So
like completely maul Vitaly and do awful things to him if that match happens.
I hope that match happens. I hope it does. But I'm
It
telling you,
will.
his right
If it's
is
not
is
this event,
different.
it's next event or the event at like it's going to happen. It's
It's
just
coming
when.
soon. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to.
Yeah.
It's like it's
But
come to such
it's
a head
different,
where we
man.
can't act like it's not the match to make, you know?
No, it's the match. Everybody wants to see it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, with my dad right now, I've felt my dad forever. Him before pulling Levon 2, like there, yeah, he always beat me, but I could feel holes. I could feel areas where like, okay, yeah, he's stronger than me there, but it's not like I can't even kind of make him struggle or anything. After Levon, after he crashed down, leaned out, did his big fast, and then came back up, it's different. It's a different level of stability. His hand is way thicker. His bones are thicker.
His hand's
Everything
pretty
is.
crazy,
It's
yeah.
just he's now walking around at 300,
I mean,
walking around there.
I was in the back room at East vs West 18, and I saw his hand. I go, "Can I see your hand, Devin?" He was like, "Yeah, buddy, sure." And I was like I have seen his hand up close before Levon
It's
the
not the
second.
same.
It's
It's not the same.
way bigger, like way bigger, like enough so that I noticed not when he was going like this, but literally just walking around. I'm like,
He
what
needs to do more
fucking
bench though. He needs more
like
bench.
yeah, I mean, if he benched more, I think the day he benches, like holds Levon. Remember when he held Levon in the center instead of just like it opening up, he starts going on his side. Yeah, I think he'll blast Levon with a little bit
Right
of bench
through him.
press.
And more squats. More squats. Those are needed. Hip
Okay, see,
thrust.
I don't drink the squat Kool-Aid. You don't need no squats, no legs. I about a week ago I found out you could train your legs, and ever since I've not been okay with that. That's awful. But okay, so gun to your head, yes, your dad will beat
Yeah.
Levon. No
Number
bias.
three, I've got him. I've got him winning it. We'll see.
I mean, how do you think that? Like, do you think it's gonna just be an absolute death war, or like you believe your dad can maybe win easy?
Wow, it's nothing's easy. Nothing's easy, especially against LeBron. Um,
I'm
I
talking
think
like
it'll be very
for
quick.
example a sweep. Like, do you think like your dad could get something similar to the second match where he stops it, near 12 o'clock?
It's possible. It's possible. I would expect it's going to be more endurant. Like maybe get round one. Like the stop happened round one, but Levon now has learned. Like round one was the first time he ever pulled my dad. He was able to keep his cup, and
Hmm.
he was able to do that. He expected it would be the same, I think. And the second time,
And
he
I
could
think his
not keep
cup
the
was
cup.
also significantly weaker the second time.
It didn't reflect in his lifts. He was pretty close
I mean,
for
unless
the
if he's
season.
lying on my interview, he said it was significantly weaker the
Did he?
second time.
Oh, never mind then.
Oh,
I'm not
he
sure.
said it was
Before he
about
said it was the
he
same. It
said it
was
was
just height.
about well, you got to hype the match, but he said it was like 60% of his previous wrist, which
Oh,
I'll
interesting.
say, admittedly, in his lifts, it doesn't really reflect that. But you also don't know, like, was he doing 120 kilos before Devin the first time and
Yeah,
just
not
not
this time.
uploading it, right? So,
True.
and he's also said, even on a Georgian interview that, wasn't available in English, he said that his wrist was much weaker the second time.
Well,
And
that's
I
possible.
also,
That's possible.
yeah, and like, now, all that being said, anyone can say anything. What happened on the table is what happened on the table. He did get his wrist taken, no doubt. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
You
that's
know,
interesting.
we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. If he can stick that move, I think the hand will be okay. I think my dad will be able to have a form of hand control. It's just, can he stop before he gets fully open? Because Levan is he's a very good arm wrestler, and what he figured out is the way to do it. It's the kind of kick back a little bit and just top roll without your hand.
Hmm.
We'll see. We'll see if he can stick it or not. But I think I think he can. I
All
think he
right.
can.
Well, me and the Larratt family might make a large bet. No hard
We'll
feelings about
see. We'll
whoever
see
wins.
as it
I'd
gets
be willing to
closer.
do it. All
Okay.
right. So the other thing I have, a new thing I started a few things ago, and I haven't brought it back because I haven't had an English speaking guy recently.
Yeah.
Lightning questions. Okay, I got like
Okay.
14 questions that
Perfect.
are all like, just like quick. And I did this with Neil. He took 10 minutes, so we got to beat Neil's time
Perfect.
because it's supposed
You
to be
want
like
short
fucking.
answers?
It's supposed to be like a minute.
No problem.
Okay.
I'll be short. I'll be quick and concise.
Who's the goat of arm wrestling?
Jarmer's Inc.
Worst quality in a roommate.
Roommate, messiness or drug addict. Probably drug addict.
So I mean, that means you must hate Milo, right?
No, Miles clean.
Well, the joke is that like I'm saying that he shoots up or something. You're supposed to say like, yeah, he's doing heroin every
Yes,
night.
yes. Miles, yeah, drug addict. Yeah.
Okay.
But no, wait. Actually, I want to cover that quickly. There's no drugs in this house ever. Neither Milo or I. We don't drink. We don't smoke. We don't do anything. This is a clean household, and I love it. I'm so very happy for it
I know
because I
you
hate
surely have
drugs.
smoked weed at least one time or done an edible sometime. Never?
I smoked weed a couple times in high school, but I didn't
Okay.
like it. Like a couple is
I
in
feel
like
the same way.
literally, it was 3 times ever, and I was like, I'm done.
Dude,
I have
Benji
been sober fully for 5 years straight.
in Arlington, Benji gave me an edible that literally nearly killed me, and we took some of the funniest fucking videos you've ever. I was in Dallas Wade, I was in his hotel room, and it was just him and his buddy, and I was so screwed up and I was so paranoid. I thought they were gonna rape me, and I was like, dude, I need Benji to come back because these black guys are gonna rape me. I had like literally, I was so scared about it happening, and I was like looking at them, like seeing if they were gonna make a move. And I told
Wow.
Dallas about it the next morning. He thought it was the funniest thing ever, but. Yeah, we were thinking about maybe uploading the video, but it's maybe a bit of a trashy look for me, but it was the fucking funniest thing. Anyway, but yeah, no more edibles for Henry, probably. Grossest thing you've ever eaten. And I'm going to say besides the salmon shake, because we know about the salmon shake.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I've eaten a lot of gross stuff. I've eaten some like really rotten chicken, like really, really
Why?
rotten. I was hungry.
Oh,
It
jeez.
was literally green, smelled like fish, and made me gag. But I covered it in barbecue sauce and ate it.
The Larratt family
That was
continues
bad.
to
That was
impress
bad.
me every time I hear about you guys. All right. Favorite sport that isn't arm wrestling?
I like UFC.
All right. I just made, dude, I was at this great like dome event. Like it was like this weird dome screen for the last UFC and fucking Roy Val and Van last night at the fucking dome. That place was like exploding, even though it was some flyweight fight that I knew no one gave a shit about. It was still very fun. So yeah, I
That's
love
great.
UFC. All right. Who's an arm wrestler you wouldn't want to get into a fist fight with?
A fist fight with probably Levan. I want to fight
Okay.
Levan.
It was pretty simple. Who's an arm wrestler you would
I think
want to get
so.
into a fist fight with?
I would want to get in a fist fight with. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really want to. I like all the arm wrestling guys. I don't know. I
Uh-huh.
mean,
Really, you like all of them? Whenever someone you
pretty
like
much.
every single one?
I would say generally, I would say I like them all. They all have redeeming qualities, one way or another. I'm not a
Okay.
very combative guy. Like I like to resolve things, but
Uh-huh.
I mean, if stuff gets crazy, let's see, let's see. I
I
want to fight.
fully I fully expected you to just say me just immediately with
Yeah, yeah.
no
I should
yeah.
have said you, but you're not an arm wrestler.
Oh,
Yeah,
come
here's
on.
the YouTube guy.
I have an arm wrestling table in my living room. I bet that is
Ah,
more in my way than your arm wrestling
good.
table, all right?
Oh, that's not possible. That's not possible.
I mean,
But
it's not possible to be more in the way than this thing. It's in my living room.
and I guess that well,
I live in a
mine's
one
also in
bedroom
the living room.
apartment. What?
Mine's also in my living room.
Okay, so we'll call it
Yeah,
a tie.
sure.
But yeah. I mean, if we ever had a match though, I've never arm wrestled ever. I'm a YouTuber who
It's
just
true.
learned about arm wrestling and has never
Well, that
trained.
entices me. That entices me. That's why I like to arm wrestle
And I
normally.
weigh 110 pounds and I'm 5'4".
There we go.
That would be the
Perfect.
stats going into the match. Yeah. All right. You're on an island with three arm wrestlers. Who are you picking? No picking family members.
No picking family members. Am I trying to get off the island or are we stuck there just having fun?
I'm gonna say you are trying to get off the island, but it's not an easy like you're gonna be on there for a few weeks
Yeah.
and you're gonna need to pick some strategic guys to help you get off, but you're also gonna want to pick guys that you enjoy being with.
I would pick Mindaugas. I think he's a smart guy. I think we figured some shit out. I would pick Alex Kardeccia. I mean, he's like a super engineer guy, super
Yeah,
genius.
200 IQ.
Um, and and I would pick Bowens. We have a common enemy, so we can unite the three of us.
Interesting. Okay. So because everyone in theory the three of you hate Bowen,
Yes, we want
so
to
the
get
three
away
of
from
you
Bowen.
work together really hard
Exactly,
so you
exactly.
can get off the
But no,
island and don't have to be around Bowen anymore. Okay.
we'd get out that thing in no time. There'd be no problem.
I love you promoting the Ryan Bowen match, even when it's like way out of depth right
Like
now.
long time. He's good
Yeah,
right now. He is really good right now.
I mean, he looked
He
very
impressed me.
impressive there
Yeah, he looked awesome.
in
I think
where
yeah.
were
I
we?
think his best has been
Chicago.
Chicago. I think his best
All
has been
right.
in a while.
Deal breaker for a girlfriend.
Deal breaker. Be a guy. I probably wouldn't like that very
Well,
much.
it's a girlfriend, not a boyfriend.
Hey, it's 2025. Who knows?
So let's just say no dick. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There we go.
Blondes or brunettes?
I don't really care so much. Historically, I've been into blondes, I guess, but it's not a preference thing. It just happened to go that way.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never met a guy that told me he didn't care. Every guy has an opinion, I
I
feel
really, I
like.
know it's weird, but I really don't. I don't care about hair color, like at all,
You
which
know,
is strange.
ironically, I'm the other way around. I'm blondes like probably till the day I die, but I think I've literally in my whole life I've been with one blonde girl. So because of that, maybe I can't really say I'm into blondes, but I also live in LA where, there's less white people. It's not just all white people. Anyway,
True.
if you could make everyone in the world use only one arm wrestling style, which are you picking?
Kings move, double kings, cross the
I mean,
board, bang, swing it up.
yeah, that one was I'm
Easy.
not too shocked about that answer. All right. Favorite arm wrestler from your country, no family members.
For my country, I like Matt. Matt's great.
Mm.
I'd say Matt probably. Yeah.
I would have picked George Zakowicz.
I was just about to say him or George. George is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, George has got a match coming up. I'm excited.
George kind of it feels like the old school Nugo to me in a way. Just a guy that isn't supposed to be as good as he is.
Oh, he's so good. He's got a match with Coach Ray at Mac. I don't know if that's public.
Oh,
I hope it's public, but we're
whatever.
gonna
Well,
find out.
we announced it right here.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay.
wow.
It's gonna be good.
Okay,
It's gonna be
I'm
good.
very excited to see that. That's really
So am I.
interesting.
So am I. I have to test for Ray. George is hard to get through.
And it's also on a Mac table too.
That's the thing. They do call decline now. Back when I competed, they didn't call decline
Yeah.
humorous, but they are calling decline now. So it's not as awesome,
Interesting.
but it's still pretty good.
Interesting. Oh
Yeah.
well, for 98% of the arm wrestling community, it just got more awesome that you can't be under the table. But I understand for you Kings Move weirdos, you guys are fucking crying about how he can't go underneath the table. But I mean,
Going to
without
the
him being
table is
allowed underneath the
fine.
table, I think I'm picking Ray to just smack him up pretty bad. I think. But
We'll talk later, man. Maybe then.
okay, we'll talk after. All right. Be honest, because God is watching. How often do you train legs?
To train legs? Oh, I mean, I guess it will be once a week, like on Fridays, because I do a ruck walk. Like I do like really heavy and go for a walk. But like other than that, never, never,
All
never, never.
right.
Like I'm not doing squats or anything. None of that.
Okay.
Everyone, you know what? Every once in a while, when I'm like feeling sore in my low back or legs, I'll stretch them and work them a bit. But I like my walks. I like my weighted walks. That feels good structurally. I
Mhm.
enjoy that. But you're not gonna catch me doing squats.
Your leg
Yeah.
training is getting bigger arms. That way, your legs have to work harder. I think that's
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
move.
Like getting heavier so I can walk more.
All right. Who's an arm wrestler you'd like to have a match against?
I want to pull a Bassarana. I want to pull a Bassarana.
I
There's
want you and
contract
John
issues.
in a few years when he comes out of his retirement. That
John
is the
too.
match. The moment John comes out of retirement, straight to Auden. Because
Yeah, no,
frankly,
100%. I've already thought plenty about that. I
yeah, because
really
frankly,
hope I
that
can get
match is
John
so
looking
cool
forward.
either way. Like, I mean, if you
Oh
win,
man,
if
I
you
would love
win,
to
it's
do it.
kind of like arm wrestling 9/11, but like way worse. Like, I mean, if I'm being real, obviously I'm hoping John wins, and it's not because
Yeah.
I dislike you, but it's just like you can't hope the goat. You know, I mean,
No, of
that's
course
like
not.
it's like fucking Mike Tyson against Jake Paul. You know, of
Yeah.
course you got to root for Mike, but you know, Jake Paul
I would
probably win.
love to do that, man. I hope he can. I know he's finished his surgery. I think it went well. I hope he comes back because
He'll be
really I
back.
want to get him before he retires. I know he's technically retired, but I don't think he'll ever actually be done.
Hmm.
And it would just be such an honor to me to pull one of my heroes. Like I would love to pull John, and it would be so hard
And
for me
that
because
would be
I
such a
wouldn't
full
be able to
circle
trash talk.
moment too.
I
That would
wouldn't
be
be able
such
to
a
do
full
it.
circle. Like your dad,
Totally right.
when you were growing up, you watched your dad beat John, and now you've grown up and now you're facing John. So yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
What's the
great.
biggest animal you could beat in an arm wrestle?
Biggest animal? Probably like a whale. I don't think they have arms. I think I just win by default.
Oh, whale would beat the shit out of you. His fucking flipper would just.
No, that thing's weak.
Are
That
you
thing is
kidding?
weak.
You have lost. Do you okay? That flipper propels a animal the size of multiple school
What?
buses.
Whatever. How's it
The
tough?
fucking. Also,
How's it tough?
how would you beat the whale?
I just pin it just like that. It would put its flipper on the table and boom, easy, no problem, just like that, easy. One, two, three, best of five.
I implore you to understand. When he would try to put his flipper elbow down, he would
There.
crush the table.
Nah, no
It wouldn't be
problem.
you guys would have to arm wrestle like on the sand, like it's like a
Still
dead
no
whale.
problem.
And I literally don't think you're strong enough to move the flipper of the dead whale. I'm pretty sure, let alone
Oh,
him using
I
his
would
strike.
smack him.
Okay,
I would smack that thing. I would smack it.
yeah, I think you got a better chance of beating Mandaugas right now. All right, should the people at home subscribe to the channel for more content just like this?
Well, on your channel?
Yeah,
No.
I already,
It's
yeah. Don't
unsubscribe. Unsubscribe and
unsubscribe from
dislike.
Henry Naring. You know, honestly,
Always.
okay, I want as many people to unsubscribe from this video as possible. I want to check my YouTube analytics. I want to lose subscribers this video. That might be funny because I don't care
That's a good
about
idea.
subscribers. It doesn't do anything anyway. So unsubscribe. Everybody unsubscribe.
That'll
Okay.
kill the algorithm for this video. That'll kill it.
Nah, they just care about watch time. They don't care. Yeah, okay. Actually, yeah,
We'll
maybe
see.
I don't totally know. I mean, maybe that strong of a unsubbing.
It
I
will.
don't know.
It will.
All right, never mind. I take it back. Okay. So off the lightning questions, now back onto the normal questions. Do the Larratts own any percentage of East versus West at all?
Yeah, my mom owns 100%.
Yeah.
She owns 100%
Baxter
of
gave her
West
the
West.
company.
She gave the entire company was handed over to her. She owns now 100% of the company.
Okay. Now, to just be abundantly clear,
No, 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 no,
serious
no,
answer.
no,
Nothing.
no.
And then,
It's I don't know how this started, but it is wild, and it's actually pretty funny to me that
mhm.
people think she owns part of the fucking league. It's
Yeah.
why I don't understand it. I don't know what's going on.
So 0% is the answer.
From what I understand, unless there's some weird secret shit going on behind my back, but
To
we're
your
pretty open
knowledge.
here.
All right.
To
And
my
then
knowledge, there none of that.
my follow-up question, why would someone think you guys do?
I do not know. I do not understand why. I don't even know. So this was Travis who said this?
I never actually heard Travis say it, but what I heard, like, it was probably Travis doing his like way over the top joke or something, and then people actually ran with it because everyone was throwing shit against the wall all over the place. People were like, "Oh, it's true. They actually own the company." So,
Listen, I don't know where that came from. I have no idea. But no, this is Robert and Dexter's company.
mhm. And you guys make zero decisions about the rules.
Zero decision about the rules. That's actually Engin's domain.
Okay. So
Yeah, from what I
part of why
understand.
I'm doing this too is because later, if we find out you guys do own the company or do make the rules, we have you on record saying no impact on the rules. You don't own any of the company.
No, the rules are still under review by the entire community. Like this is a communal effort. We're trying to grow the sport together.
Now you guys
The
have your
rules are
opinions
not
on
set
the
in
rules,
stone.
but you guys don't have any control.
No control. The final say on everything is Robert and Dexter. This is who we need to like. These are the guys who like run the company.
Mhm.
So now I have my idea of the perfect rule set. I'm sure everyone has their own idea, and we're just gonna have to find one that works for everyone. But for
Yeah.
me, I believe we need running fouls. We need to eliminate safety rules like shoulder pass center and decline. I just do not believe it is necessary. People think if you open up the decline, it becomes unbeatable move. if you believe that, you one, don't understand the king's move, and two, do not understand how to beat the king's move.
In my
Because people just,
opinion, well, like for the king's move, you
yeah,
can only if you're going to allow people to go underneath, you need
yeah.
to add like an inch to the front of the pad and allow people going over the center. If they do
I don't,
that,
no, no, no. Over the center, 100%. Over the center,
but
100%.
you
No
can't
question.
have
I think
one
you allow
without
both
the other.
ways.
You can't allow over the center
No,
without.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
you need both.
Yeah, you
But
need both.
in general, like over the center, silly because, like for example, if I go over the center, my arm cannot touch my shoulder. It literally physically cannot. So I would be capable of starting the match like this, go, and I'm right here, and now I can no
Well,
longer be
you
pinned.
wouldn't. You would have to get there. You would have to get there.
Yeah, but it would just be silly that if I could get there, the only way to pull out would literally be breaking something. I mean, it's just a little
Listen,
silly.
it just makes it so you can now have to stop you from getting there, which is not that hard. It's not that hard.
Eh, I think the
Like
rules
to
are
beat a
pretty good.
press, it's not like you're pulling guys out of presses often. Normally, you
Now,
beat a press by not letting the press get set.
yes,
It's the same thing.
but don't you think you could start the setup literally like this? My
No,
shoulders are square,
no,
and then just
no.
go.
We'll have that rule. No, we'll have that rule where you can't. The rule already is there. That's already a rule. You need to have your shoulders square. Guys already do this. Like they have to do this. This is fine. This is legal.
Yeah,
This is okay.
the Camille
And they
setup
try to
right there.
press, they get open. And yeah,
Uh-huh.
you can jump behind it, but if you try to jump behind it and the guy's opening you, you get
You're gonna
pinned.
get hurt. Yeah.
In my opinion, running fouls, two or three
I
foul
agree
systems,
with
not so
running
important.
fouls because like people don't like seeing the match get stopped,
No,
especially
it fixes
especially
everything.
because the setup takes
Everything.
so long. If the setup didn't take
People,
so long, you could do more stop fouls. But it's
yeah,
just
I know, I know.
go and then a little bobble, stop. Now we have to
That's the
take
thing.
the
We just
strap
can't
off,
have
and it's
that. We
another
just
minute,
can't have
and
that.
yeah, it's bad.
And
But
if
yeah,
you do
running fouls I'm in for.
running fouls properly fixes everything. People don't understand running fouls. That's the issue. People like
So
they hear the running
what is
foul and
proper
people have
running
done it wrong.
fouls?
So let me explain what running fouls actually is. So WAL did it perfectly. WAL running fouls is how to do it. Now WAL had its own issues with the pad being too long, but they nailed running fouls. So what running fouls is there's no such thing as a micro foul or a macro foul. Every infraction is a foul. So you need to keep your elbow on that pad, or they're not going to stop the match. So what happens is if we're arm wrestling and I foul, the power is fully in your hands. So as a normal match, it would stop, and now I would have a foul would restart. You have that power to have that make that happen. If you don't want to
Hmm.
continue, you can just let go, stand up, do whatever. Do like you can lift your own elbow, anything you want. And now it's foul on me, restart. But you have the control too, where you're like, nah, you're not getting out of this match. I'm gonna beat you. You can
Hmm.
pin me and get the win.
Especially in situations where there's a little bobble, but
Exactly.
no
Yeah.
needle mover has occurred.
So so if we're arm wrestling, I am on one running foul and you make a foul by accident. It's a stop, restart. I have one foul because I made it first. I can accumulate more fouls as the match goes, but you cannot. So it fully gives the power to the person who is infracted against, which is what a foul should be.
I mean, in
It
my
should not
opinion,
be a bailout.
I think Mac does it best from the a foul perspective. I'm agreeing with stop fouls. I just think stop fouls should be handed out way less often.
No,
Like
because
if
it's
you
the
slide
issue with
way
that.
off the back, you can stop the match. But like these
But
little
then it's ref
bobbles,
decision. That's
like
ref
just are
decision.
not fouls.
So to me, that gives too much power to the refs. I think everything we should do is to make it as unopinionated as possible. I don't want to put that pressure on the refs where they have to always be on it. They're going to be scrutinized so hard for what fouls they call, what fouls they don't. I want to make it easy for the refs. Listen, if that elbow comes up, you call a foul. It's easy as that.
Hmm.
So for me, running foul solves everything. Mac is cool too, but Mac has the issue with the declining pads where you can lift your elbow 3/4 an inch and just hover and not get fouled. So
Uh-huh.
to me, I don't like that because then
It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
what about what about just over 3/4 an inch? What about 1 inch? Where are you actually calling it? I don't like when the referee has to make an opinion decision all of a sudden. I want the referee to be like, that's an infraction 100%, call it.
Hmm.
So I think you got to bury those pins. I hate these high call pins. I think you got to keep that elbow on the pad. You can decline, you can come forward. And to me, that's the perfect rule set. Maybe start in set grip, maybe start in straps once you get there already. That I am undecided on.
Yeah,
But the rest,
I agree with the
I don't think
Mac
it's good.
where if you slip once, you're in straps the rest of the match. And I also think I mean, if you're not going to do that, there needs to be a little bit of like, you know, like for example, let's just think of if Hermes and your dad have a match. Neither of them are trying to pin the other guy out of the straps. I just already know it. So
Hermes did. Hermes tried to.
Yeah, but I think they were both understanding they could slip whenever they wanted, you know?
Hard
And
to say.
I mean, yeah, like maybe you and your dad or Hermes and your dad are a bad example, but like, I mean, let's say, okay, Mike and Zoranov. Mike
Sure.
ain't ever going for a pin outside the straps. No way. He's always just trying to slip. And Zoranov probably wasn't going to do it either.
I never like to use absolutes. Oh fuck! I used ones right there. I don't like to use absolutes very often like that because Michael does go for outside the strap pins like flops, like he dives into it. But
Yeah,
I
but
would
but I'm
generally
talking on the
agree.
first round. And athletes every
Yeah,
round should be asked, "Do you want to go straight to the straps?" That's the other thing. In my opinion, they should
yeah,
be asked every round only because they would get reminded, like, "Okay, yeah, I guess I am fine to just go to the straps." Versus
yeah,
like as it stands right now, the athletes need to initiate that being a choice, which is the problem. Like if you when I'm riding high on adrenaline, I have to tell you I want to go to the straps. That doesn't make any sense. You need to be kind of bringing me the option. I go, okay, yeah, sure. That would get
I
more
agree with that.
athletes
I agree with that.
agreeing to go to the strap. But anyway, all right. When are you looking to compete again? This is the longest period of time you have not had a match set.
Is it?
Pretty sure.
I don't know. I compete soon. We'll see. I probably got something coming up in August. There's a lot of opportunities in August. I've been hitting tournaments. That's the thing. I've been doing all these tournaments. I've been having a lot of fun. My issue is just I don't know who I want to pull. Like for me, all these matches have made sense. Okay, I pulled Whisperer, I pulled James, I pulled Korean Hulk, and I pulled Artem. All these guys made sense. I don't know who the next guy is. I
Coach Ray.
really want to pull a Bass Rana. I
Coach
really
Ray's
want
the
to pull
match to
him.
make. 100%.
I really think so too. I would love to pull a Bass. It's just I know there's contract issues. I know there's some issues
No,
with
no,
Pro Panja
I'm
League.
saying Coach Ray.
Coach Ray could be. That could be possible. I know he's real busy too, but that could be a
Uh-huh.
fun one.
Yeah, Coach
You,
Ray
you,
would
you think
be.
Coach Ray? You think that would be fun?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Do people want to see that match? Like, is that one people want to see? I just
I
wonder
mean,
because I mean,
listen,
again,
like
it's another
they
shorter
want to
guy who
see
has
it.
the hook for it.
Well, okay. There's always people complaining, but
People are gonna
from
hate no matter what. That's not my thing. Just
yeah,
like
I mean,
if
here's
people
the
want to see
thing.
that match,
No,
I would
like
pull.
you went up against the guy who has been arm wrestling for 10 years, is about 4 inches shorter than you, and maybe weighed 20, 30 pounds less than you, and everyone said this is the most bullshit match ever. If you go up against Artem Taranenko and they tell you it's a bullshit match against a non-real arm wrestler, there's literally nobody you can face. But if you go
Yeah.
up against like, I mean, as long as you don't go up against fucking someone who's like a total clown, sensible people will be like, okay, this is reasonable. Like Artem Taranenko, in my opinion, was the end of anyone should be like allowed to say any bullshit. Like,
But they still said stuff.
if you want to say like
That's it.
God, what's his name? Arm wrestling whisperer. Yeah, like a little bit like, but even then, I mean, he's definitely
Kind
a
of hard
real
to take
arm
down.
wrestler,
Yeah.
but he's much smaller. Okay, sure, fair. If they want to say something about James English, well, they're
That's
starting to
hard to
lose a little
do,
bit of
especially
steam,
now.
but okay.
You,
And then
you see James. You see James this last weekend, like
no,
smacking Artem around.
oh come on, that
Or that might not be public. That's not public, but it will
I
be.
mean, yeah, but you would not bet on James English to beat Artem Taranenko in a super match.
100% I would. 100% I would. No question. Stylistic nightmare for Artem.
We got to start betting more often. I mean, look,
I'm terrible, man. I'm terrible. I know.
like you're backing your dad to beat Levan, even odds. Like these are the things I love hearing from a
I
guy too.
vote with my heart always.
Yeah, I mean, we got to just start betting just like a lot of money every event, and I'll just
I
take your
like it.
show and win
Let's start
money every
talking.
time.
Let's start talking.
Next event, I'll give you my picks, and we'll see what happens.
Perfect. I love it.
Anyway, but okay, so you are looking to compete soon. You just kind of
Yeah.
don't know against who. Abbas
I
Rana
just don't know
is
against who.
ideal.
I don't know which event. I don't know who. There's a bunch of different events coming up soon. I might squeeze into one of them. We'll see.
All right. And now the other question I had, will Engin let you compete at East versus West, or are you a King of the Table only guy? Because I've sort of seen King of the Table to be a little bit more influencery versus East versus
Yeah.
West seems a little more buttoned up to me.
Sure. I mean, it's really that's up to whoever's making the matches. I can't say for sure. It's just I mean I need to earn my spot there. I need the matches to make sense. If they
Mm-hmm.
think really at the end of the day it's about selling pay-per-views. If they think it's a financially feasible option and they think it's a smart move, then why not? Why not do it? But
I mean,
I just
from a
need
selling
to
pay-per-view perspective, absolutely you deserve to be there. But from a arm wrestling perspective, you would be one of the least talented arm wrestlers to ever compete at East vs. West. I mean, it's just the truth of it. But
Yeah.
um, but like I also think even though that's a fact, you're probably one of the biggest draws in the entire sport. I mean, that's just a truth.
Well, that's the thing. And end of the day, it's a numbers game. Like
Yeah,
people are watching. People are watching me. People are watching the stuff. So I am not in the position to speak for somebody else. I would love to compete with every league in the world. I want to pull everyone. I want to pull everybody. But I just do what I think is fun and makes the most sense. If those two things are checked off, I'm there.
I am fully on the give Auden East vs. West matches train only because it's so clear that people want to see it, whether they like or dislike. The people do watch. It's undeniable. So I definitely think
People
there should
watch.
be. I mean, if we're trying to make arm wrestling a real business that can succeed, yeah, absolutely, there should be some Auden matches because you are
Why not?
like, I mean, I said this the other day, and this was like I was getting flamed in the comments, and you'll probably agree with the comments, but I said you're a bigger draw than Levan.
Oh
And
no, that's
and
not
I
true. That's not
understand that you say no to that, but the thing
no, no, no.
is the people Levan has a super match with are huge draws. The one time he had a match against a guy who wasn't a huge draw, Jerry, I don't know if you know the pay-per-view numbers, they were not as good as the other ones for sure. So I think Levan by himself is not a huge draw only, but he is
I
always
disagree,
combined with
man.
a
I
guy who's a
totally
big draw.
disagree.
And I knew
I
that you would
totally
disagree.
disagree. I
I knew you
totally
would
disagree.
disagree, but if you look
Yeah.
at the views, I definitely think there's a case to be. I mean, your super match with James English, I think, has more views than Levan and Jerry.
What's it like a million?
Yeah, something like that. And Levan and
Yeah.
Jerry has like maybe 500,000. I mean, not even
Yeah.
close.
Whisper and James were both, I think, a million. I think
Yeah, and
Chris
Levan and
Mulligan,
Ermey's
800.
last time got a lot of views because it was like one of the best matches of all time.
Yeah,
The other two times it was a Devon match, so Devon matches get a lot of views. I'm yet to see proof that Levan is a huge draw by himself. Like when he goes up
I think
against acquired, and I'm not saying he isn't. All I'm saying is when he goes up against, Georgi Zaranov or something on a hot streak, and we're just gonna see how big of a draw is seeing Levan compete. There's a lot of people just like Mike Tyson, where we all just want to see Mike Tyson beat the shit out of this guy, even though we all know it's gonna happen. There's gonna be some appeal like that with Levan. But I think there's a lot of people that hate watch you, frankly, that are like, I just can't wait to see Auden lose tonight. And as much as they want to complain, they do tune in. All of them tune in.
we
So
do.
I
But
think
we'll agree to disagree.
it's
I
closer than
think
you
LeBron's
think. It's
bigger.
closer than you think.
Well, I think it's very far off. So let's see.
All right. Anyway, I already know the comments will rip me a new one for that, but I will die on this hill. You're at least close.
Okay.
You're at least close to
Whatever
being
you
as big a
say,
draw.
whatever you say.
But anyway, because there's a
Well,
lot of
thank you. I
people.
appreciate the
Here's the thing:
compliment. That's
there's
very
a
nice
lot of
of you.
people who only watch arm wrestling for Devon. That crowd of people a little bit watch Auden matches, and they know Levan as the guy Devon lost to. Like the thing is, within arm wrestling, people give way more shit about Levan than you. That's just the truth.
Mhm.
Outside of arm wrestling, most of them know Levan as the big guy who just always wins, and it's boring sleeper match. That's the truth of it. There's something to be said. And I'm talking
Is
from a
that
pay
really
per view.
true? That can't be true. I think people think Levon's awesome.
People who watch him, yeah. But there's a lot of people who don't know about him because he doesn't speak English that much. But now he's also, I think he's starting to become a bigger, not just an athlete, but also a character, which I think is really
Yeah.
good. Like it's important that your champion isn't just skilled, but he's also has some entertainment about him, which I really appreciate about Levan, where he's becoming a little bit more of a personality. Anyway, I'll die on this hill and I will be killed on this hill probably, but it's okay. All right. Um, did the loss to Artem Taranenko greatly shift how good you think you are?
No, no, not at all. I figured it was a steep challenge. Like really, I wasn't sure if I could beat him. I am always very skeptical of where I'm actually at. Like I never really know. Some days I feel just fucking awesome, like I beat anyone, but I've always kind of roughly understood where I was at. But my issue is I pull so often and peak so little that I just don't know where I'm actually at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know where you're at when you're
Yeah.
feeling like shit.
But no, when I lost Arm, I wasn't like, oh man, I'm so fucking terrible. I was a piece of shit. Like I beat myself up a bit, but I wasn't totally
Well,
devastated. I was
like
like,
after
okay,
you
next
lost
man.
him, was your opinion like, damn, I'm quite far. Like do you have a little feeling like that? Like, man, I'm not as
No, no,
close as I thought I was.
No. I still thought I was far from the top. I was more like, fuck, Artem's good, not damn, I'm shit.
Uh-huh. Because you went in feeling good about yourself.
I was pretty good. Like I came in good. My prep went nice. There wasn't anything glaringly wrong.
Hmm.
But yeah, he came in really good that day. That day he was strong as fuck.
Yeah. And
Uh-huh.
I honestly I think the Artem Taranenko that you stopped left-handed, I think that's a completely different match if you
Totally
hold him
different guy.
right-handed that day.
Totally different guy.
Totally
That
different
is not
guy.
even the same realm of world as same
Because
guy.
I remember too, Ryan at the event, he was like, "Hey, look at this, Henry. You know, I beat Artem left-handed." I was like, "Really? He beat Artem left-handed?" And I was like, "Holy shit!" You know, I mean, Ryan's left arm is way behind his right. And then after that, then I saw you giving trouble to Artem left-handed. I go, "Oh, okay, never mind."
Not just trouble. He fouled out. They didn't call it. Both refs looking at me the entire time. He bounces off of the table.
Really?
God.
So you were robbed against Artem left-handed.
Well, he definitely fouled out, but then again, I was declined for most of it, so whatever.
I
But
mean, yeah,
I
like
would
you
have
were.
loved to win it. I would have loved to win it because not because I think I'm better than Artem. Artem 100%
You
beats me left.
definitely would have
It would
been
have been
stealing
so
him that
funny.
day. It would
So
have been a robbery
funny.
for sure.
Yeah, it would have been great.
Yeah, I mean, if you beat him, it would have been like how do I say? If he just calms down once you get in your king's move and quits trying to fucking blast sideways through it, he'll be okay.
No, he won't. No, he
Really?
did the right thing. Yeah. No, if he would have calmed down, I would have blown him out. 100%. 100%.
So you think he couldn't have climbed or anything? He had to just
No,
blast sideways and pray.
trust me, he tried. He was not climbing on me.
And I've
No,
also
he did the
I've
right move.
seen
He did
a
the right move.
portion of the video. I've never even seen the whole thing, so I don't know
No,
how
no,
long it
no.
was.
He arm wrestled me right. He did the right thing.
Okay,
I had his
interesting.
rise dumped from the go. I
Yeah,
think.
so
I need to watch back.
you
I need to
two in a
watch back.
super match left-handed would have been interesting.
No, because if he has a super match date, he's gonna kick my ass.
No, I'm
But
talking that day. Like you just
that
surprised
day,
you
yeah,
two.
that day would have been nice. That day would have been fun. Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm just now realizing my next two questions I already asked earlier, so I'm ready to wrap this thing up. How do you
Perfect.
feel
Okay.
about I'm just like all over the place. Anyway, say goodbye to the people. You have any final message?
Goodbye to the people. See you later, everybody. And hey, anybody out there who knows a bass, can you help your brother out? Come on, I want some of this.
Hmm.
I want you a bass. I want you.
All right, and then
Use that in if you want.
reluctantly you'll admit they should probably subscribe.
I
My
guess
channel is
subscribe
kind of
if you
cool.
really
It is
want.
kind of
If
cool.
you really want, like and subscribe.